We have partnered Clayton County Public Schools with Safe America and with Commissioner Jeff Turner to make sure our students understand the importance of driving safely and the safety needs of all of our drivers. So we began with our middle schoolers. So we are here today to make sure that our parents are much aware, as our students, about how involved we should be and engaging all the time when we're driving, those best practices for that. And then we have all of our vendors here who are with us today, Allstate, different companies throughout Sprint. And so we're just a part of the community at large in encouraging our youth to be safe and responsible drivers.
So we feel very blessed at Channel 2 Action News to be a part of this program, and this is really a groundbreaking program because this is the first time that there's been a presentation like this where Safe America has partnered with one school system in particular to assemble all these different public safety people, all these different people from private business and other leaders to send an important message. And I think the way that Clayton County Schools have stepped up and bussed students and parents and guardians, grandparents probably, caregivers in is really making a difference. And we won't know in this earthly life, how big an impact this is going to have, because it's going to be measured not necessarily in things that happen, but in things that don't happen, in lives that are not lost, in injuries that do not occur, in lives that are not ruined and racked with guilt. So I feel very blessed. I mean, this is I feel like a huge blessing from the man upstairs today.
So far, they have a lot of tables set up. We came across a TOPS program table, and basically the table and the lady, she was explaining what TOPS is and telling us that a lot of middle schoolers don't know what birth control is. So she was saying, if we know anyone, we can pick up some flyers and give them more information about it so they can get help. I think they would like it. It's a really good experience. You learn a lot of stuff that you haven't learned before, and I encourage people to come out and join.
What I got to see so far is the driver's ed program. They taught me a lot. They told me that if I get my permit now, I can drive, the next day. So they basically told me rules of the road and all that. So I learned a lot from driver's ed. I think that other students can take on the driver's ed program, the TOPS program, the Army program as this here. It's a lot of things here, a lot of interesting things that they may like and they might enjoy that.
So far, I was able to experience juvenile detention centers. A judge came and showed us, the procedures and what happens in a hit-and-run accident, or what happens if you're just speeding, and the way they treat you, and just the protocol for what happens in the judge's room, the courtroom. I expect to learn more about safe driving and just helping middle schoolers with transitioning into high school, and as well as the dangers of texting and driving.
What brought me here today is I'm a part of SAD at my school, which is Students Against Destructive Decisions, and we came to see what it's all about and to participate and to chalk it off. So far I got to experience the procedures that take place in the courtroom for juveniles, and I also got to see different pictures of different cases where distracted driving took place. I hope to learn a lot more about the juvenile justice system and to learn about not being distracted while you're driving and making safe decisions.
Well, one thing at one of the tables I visited, they had information about distracted drivers, safe for teen driving, a lot of important information about no texting, and a lot of that we handle that type of situations on the school bus also. So it's good information for us just as well as the teens.
Yes, because if they're texting on the bus, they're not being aware of their surroundings also, and they need to be aware of what's their surroundings in case something does happen. So that's why we try to keep the electronics off their ears and out of their hands, also on the school bus.
I heard about it from my principal at first because my mom signed me up for it, and she didn't tell me, so after I heard about it from my principal, I met this lady and she told us everything about it to where like giving us information to what we can do and like media and like in driving and stuff, so we can get a better understanding of it. Some of the things that they talked about was showing us what things were not to do while driving, and showed us videos. And showed us pictures on what happened or what some circumstances were for some people who got in accidents of ages 15 to 20.
Well, my teacher just got me, in my class. She had asked me if I wanted to join this SADD club, and I was just like, why not? And this inspired me because I was just inspired by her thoughts and her, her quotes that she gave me that got me into this program. I had looked at some incidents that happened not too long ago. Incidents with drunk driving and, no texting while driving. And I said, you know what, this fits me. And, this was what inspired me to come here. We had started off by talking about, what was the #1 killing that most teens have. And to me, a lot of people were saying drinking while driving, texting while driving. But what came into my mind was first suicide. So many suicides just came throughout our world, throughout the United States, and this kind of worries me. So this had came to my heart to step up to be a man, and, take pride in this, to help the community, to help young teenagers just like me. I'm 15 years old. Help young teenagers to become more prideful of themselves and stop bullying and just get the word out. Shin Young once stated, in the end, it's not going to matter how many breaths you took, but how many moments that took your breath.
My teacher, Miss Wade, she's my literature teacher. She's the sponsor of our chapter of SAD. And so she was like, this club, me and my friends, like, this is what you do on a regular basis, help kids make decisions, do stuff like that. So she's like, you should sign up with this club. So I joined the club. And then she's like, there's this brain camp that we're doing. And, there's an art contest and there's all these cool panels. And so I was like, well, I like art and I like learning new things. So I'm now here. They've got a lot of panels around here, to teach you things. And then the presentation they were showing us was, kind of telling us how a court system would work, if we actually got caught drinking and driving, how it could affect our lives. And they also went into detail, the injuries we could receive, drinking and driving, because it's very dangerous to not only ourselves but to others around us, because something that I always thought of about drinking and driving, you could be drinking and it's like, someone, you could crash and the other people could have a family, it hurts people around you too.
What brought me here today is I wanted to find out more about being safe in cars and not texting and driving and being ready for when I'm on the road. I heard about an event by my mom and my principal at MORROW High School. So, well, when I was sitting over there watching the presentation, they showed us different pictures about trauma, different situations that students went through, how to be safe, what not to do in the car, not to ride with your feet up, airbags can push up, hit your legs, different type of things.
Well, my mother brought me here today because I was interested in this, and my principal, she had looked at it and was like, oh, you fit perfectly for this. So I was like, oh, okay. I haven't been to any tables. I've experienced a lot through pictures and videos and everything that's been going on. It was very interesting, kind of weird for me because it was like, oh, okay, this looks familiar. Because my father, he's a morticianist, so he gets in bodies very frequently with things wrong with them and limbs disconnected and all that good stuff. I expect to get how to live life better, not texting and driving, learn from my mistakes, and hopefully never do them again.
Well, it was great. It was a great opportunity for me to be selected to come out here and to learn about safe driving. Well, what I experienced was, well, the tragedies and all the bad things that happen with teens that don't do safe driving, and that it's safe for you to really put your seatbelt on and to buckle up anytime, any place, because you don't know what's gonna happen.
Well, I'm a part of this organization called the Forest Park Teen Council. I'm the president of that organization. So I know everything that goes on around in Clayton County. And the advisor of our organization, Ms. Sparkle Adams, told us about this, and I jumped at the opportunity. I thought it would be an excellent insight on the teens in the organization to come and learn a couple things about what goes on in Clayton County, some things that they can improve on and what can help them in their lives. I got to experience a new outlook on teen driving and how much it's affected our community and how bad of a concern it is in our community right now. And things like a lot of accidents occur around the house, around a person's home, and all the things like that. It's just a very informative thing. Like, it's some things that I did not learn. I'm glad I got to share this experience. I'm gonna be pushing teen driving. Make sure that everyone knows not to use their phone, not to be distracted while they're driving, because the cause or the outlook of what's gonna happen is just very powerful. This is something that could happen or affect teens' lives, and we need to make sure we're on it and control it so we can nip it in the bud as soon as possible.